go.
Yay! I'm so excited.
Now, let's take this off. Orbit hairs in here, but you know what? They're in every piece. So my dog is preserved.
That is fabulous.
My publisher asked me if she could put my first few art pieces that I had done in her
But
office.
the bottom, I think, shouldn't be below here.
And the Pet Shop Boys, their manager was in LA looking for a publishing deal for them. The manager came in, hired me to go to London to paint their portrait.
In 1984, we released the first version of our record, West End Girls, which wasn't a hit. And we realized we needed a manager. And we employed a guy called Tom Watkins. He was a very aesthetically minded person. Later that year, he said, oh, I've just been to LA. I've met this artist called Allee Willis, and I'm going to represent her art career. And we were slightly skeptical about this. And anyway, Allee came over to London, and she was sitting at a desk in his office drawing. And he said, I've asked Allee to draw the Pet Shop Boys. And she did this drawing, which is very much in her aesthetic, not ours. And it was sort of her imaginative idea of what the Pet Shop Boys looked like, rather than what we were.
Neil, the lead singer, while they were posing, said, well, why haven't we ever seen your art before? And I said, because I've just started painting. I'm really more of a songwriter.
And Tom said, why don't you write a song with her? Again, slightly skeptical. And he said, she's written with Earth, Wind and Fire. We were immediately impressed and said, yeah, okay.
Some of my best collaborations, in fact, have been artists that I started out doing art with before music. Pet Shop Boys happened that way.
And we came out with a song called What Have I Done to Deserve This?
There were sort of three bits to it. It's not really a conventional song. There's the Allee bit, the Neil bit, and then my bit. And we just put them all together in a row.
In a row.
In a row. And
I mean,
there's not even a middle bit, is there?
No, there's not. What is the chorus? But
Well, the best bit is Allee's.
Allee wrote that bit.
Yeah, she wrote the Since, what was it? I can't remember what it is
Since
now.
you ran
That's
away.
it.
The song was a relationship falling apart. But rather than I would tend to hide that behind poetry, my lyrics at that point in particular tended to be deliberately a bit poetic. Deliberately, you don't quite know what it means. Allee wasn't having that. She went through it like a script. So it's a story about a guy and a woman. The relationship is kind of based on money, very 80s, and made the story much more understandable and more direct.
It's like therapy.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I've had three of my hits have been based totally directly, as if someone just sat and like wrote down whatever my first thoughts were from hanging up that phone, you know? And it's an incredible way to be able to work something out.
And also she liked the fact it had the money thing, which was very Reagan, Thatcher era. You always wanted a lover. I only wanted a job. I've always worked for a living. You know, it's quite bleak.
And the ultimate revenge. I mean, well, they know it's about them, and they've got to sit and listen to it a million times.
The advice Allee gave when she went through the lyric sheet was actually, it was good advice. It made me think, don't be so
Flowery.
mysterious. When that became a hit, she was really over the moon about it. She loved the production. She loved the production. She loved the way Dusty sang.
She was very forceful. I want you very force of nature, I think.